So the first thing to do is to get a pen and paper out and do exactly that. Identify your triggers. Even if you think you know what they are in your head, get a pen and paper out and write them down. Is it loneliness? Is it boredom? Is it your friends? Is it places like pubs and clubs and stuff like that, or certain suburbs or towns that you go to, or cities or whatever? Is it, I don't know, it could be anything. What is it? Stress? Is it work? What are your triggers? Sit down and write out a practical plan of what those triggers are, and then what you're going to write in. So the best way to do it is to do it into 2 columns. First column is write down what the triggers are. Second column is write down what you're going to do differently to combat them, right? And I know we talked about earlier in the video, like, don't do more. This isn't that. This isn't willpowering it, just pushing through it. This is like coming up with a strategy specifically to what makes you tick and reframing it and doing different things instead, right? And when you have that plan, you're more likely to go and do the different thing rather than falling into your old patterns of behavior. So for instance, if you become stressed, one of the things that you might do is go for a run to de-stress you. If you actually have written down, one of my triggers is work stress. When I feel work stress, I am going to go for a run. You are more likely to go for that run. Just trust me on it. It works for people all the time. The best thing that you can do is get a coach and have somebody keep you accountable to these actions and remind you of them each day. But we want to actually sit down and go through what these triggers are and have some practical reframing strategies and things that you can do to combat those triggers. So the second thing I want you to do is I want you to track your progress. So people don't do this. They just go in blind and they don't track their wins. There's a reason why, you know, like Whoop is a billions of dollars company, right? Is because it gives people tracking. It gives people tracking. There's a reason why Whoop is a billion-dollar company or worth billions of dollars, is because it tracks people's progress and people get addicted to that progress, right? It's the same with this stuff. You got to track your progress. So many people come into this blind, like I said before, and they don't count the wins. They only focus on what the struggles are. They're only talking about what's hard. Even if it's just a little win, even if you just get out of bed when you say you're going to get out of bed, even if you make your bed in the morning when you said you're going to do that, even if you eat 3 meals a day, count the wins, count the little things, because the little things turn into big things. Another one that I'm huge on, which I've probably mentioned in other videos, is find your why. So we have a practice that we take people through in our coaching programs called creating people's why statement, which helps them to specifically identify their why in certain areas and hyper vigilantly link their motivation to those whys so that they're reminded of them every day, right? You can do a version of this. You can create your own why and really focus on it. The important part of creating your why is to not just write down or think about why it is that you're doing this and the reasons for it. The important thing is to keep focusing on it. So you got to practice on it day to day, right? So that might be reading something that you write down. That might be looking at a photo. That might be recording a video to yourself and watching it each day. Might be listening to a voice recording each day that you made for yourself. It can be a whole bunch of different things. But it's about creating a why and becoming focused on that, because what's going to happen is the more that you focus yourself and train yourself to focus on that why, is that when you have these cravings, when you have these hard moments, that's going to pop into your head, and then you're going to be left with a choice and a decision rather than just going on autopilot and going off and picking up and using or drinking or gambling or whatever it is that you're doing, right? It creates that window of opportunity where you can make a different decision, but you got to practice it and you got to focus on your why.